I was thinking it might be some kind of Florida anthem, but I was close.
Greetings, cyberspace. It is I, Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch here. And the name of tonight's show is The Musketeers, the State of the Union Address. All of us here, an American Cal, Nano Reaper, and Scooby, we all watch the State of the Union. Personally, I didn't, I could care less normally watching it, but I wanted to be able to talk about at least some points on it instead of...
And piss off your roommate.
But I have a little story to tell before we get into discussing the State of the Union. So, Scooby had posted the link in our little discussion group. And I'm sitting here, watching the Ant-Man and the Wasp while watching Trump Babylon. And my roommate comes downstairs. And she's doing laundry and everything, and she's talking to me. And then she finally notices that Trump's voice is coming out of my computer. She's like, "Is that Trump?" And I'm like, "It's the State of the Union." She's like, "Oh, well, next year he's out." And I was like, "I don't know. Ronald Reagan was a celebrity, and he had 8 years." And I said, and she's like, "Well, what did Reagan do half the shit he did?" I was like, "He did more dumber shit than he did." I was like, Reagan was actually worse. He was a fucking movie star, and it was a stunt for him to get in. I did say, mind you, I don't like Trump. I flat out told her, at least Trump's a businessman. So she's messing with her laundry and everything, and then she's like, "Is he telling lies again?" I'm like, "Actually, he's talking about a little girl with cancer. Would you shut the fuck up?" And after that, there was nothing but silence.
Nice.
And it must have been golden.
Oh, gods, yes. I was so glad that she actually shut up, because it was pissing me off. Because my computer's volume only goes so high. And I'm sitting here.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence. Trying to watch.
Hey, Lawrence.
And get this, so I can understand or at least be able to discuss with you guys. Otherwise, I'd just be hosting the show and be silent like I am some nights when you guys. And, it's like people that talk during a movie or give away parts of the movie when they're like, oh, wait, this is the best part. You're going to fucking love this. And then they start spoiling it for you. It makes you want to punch the person in the mouth. And I literally, see, if I hadn't told her to shut the fuck up, the other action I wanted to do was punch her in the mouth.
Makes you want to become Chief Slap-a-Hoe.
Pretty much. So, I noticed that there, at the end he was talking about all these people and everything, which is, I find kind of weird. To me, it's like suck up. You find all these people with issues and you suck up to them. Honestly, I think it's stupid.
Which part?
The sucking up. You're the president. You shouldn't have to suck up.
You mean by thanking people? A little courtesy goes a long way.
There's thanking, and then there's ass kissing. Some of what I saw was ass kissing.
I think it's just your distaste for the man coloring it, but I'll go with it. All right.
Because this is the thing: the president doesn't have any real power. He's got to try and get both parties to work together to get anything done. That being said, I've never seen so many Democrats in white since they founded the KKK.
Seriously, what was with that? Is there like some sort of solidarity thing that they got going on Twitter that they're all going to...
Suffragette white is what it was.
What is it?
Suffragette white.
Oh my God.
You're kidding me.
Go
Wow.
found out from the Lords of the Night. That's what I think Scribe was reading an article about it.
Reading an article again with that tired format. By the way, I hate that format. We all know this.
From a source familiar with the matter, too.
But, I mean, the thing is, I can read the article. I'm not a retard millennial that's fucking chewed too many Tide Pods. You know, just link to the article. Let me read it. Paraphrase it. Don't read it. Don't. All right. But my thoughts were, yeah, he played them. He played them. He played the middle like he always does. You know, it's what he does. He plays. He took both groups. He basically played nice, and it blew the fucking Democrats' minds because they weren't expecting it. You know, he came in, and they were expecting him to throw a fastball, and he ended up throwing a fucking curveball, and they didn't know how to handle it. You know, so they were like, you watch Nancy Pelosi, I swear, some part, I thought her head was going to fucking explode. You know? Jeez, I hate the fucking background. You know, it's and I'm sure I'm going to end up in Facebook and Twitter jail for some of my tweets tonight, but you know, fuck it, it was worth it.
Hello?
Hello, guys. I'm not. This is not just Nano talking, is it? God, I hope I'm not.
I don't know. It might be YouTube.
Yeah.
Or Google. Pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so I gotta fill some dead air until people get back. All right. Yeah, basically that's what it was. In my opinion, it was a lot of you know, sitting around, and he was playing both sides. I did, like he said, America would never be a socialist country, and Bernie Sanders shit a motherfucking brick, and it was funny as hell. You know, and that was always good. It's always fun to watch Bernie Sanders look like he's either his head's gonna explode, or he's gonna pass a 55-pound bowel movement,
Oh,
Or have a heart attack. That's more likely.
Well, I mean, what will happen is he'll be taking a massive shit and his heart will explode like Elvis. Yeah, sorry guys.
Hey, sorry.
Elvis left. That's one badass way for him to leave the building.
Yeah.
I just went into the other room to lower the TV, and I'm so glad I went in there. The rebuttal that we were all trying to avoid because of its stupidity, I caught one of the points that she was talking about. She's saying how it's because of the current economy, how it's a bad thing that truck drivers are forced to buy their own rig. Okay, really quick. Do you guys mind if I just unpack this really quick?
No, go on and unpack it anyway, because you know what? I live in the closest major town to me is the hometown of Peterbilt. So yeah. So truck drivers buying their own rigs creates jobs here. So please unpack this.
Of course, thank you. All right. Basically, when you don't own your own rig, you're an indentured servant. You're tethered to the rig, you're tethered to the job, you're tethered to the boss. That's how that works. When you have your own rig, basically you own the cab, and if you want to put the investment, you can buy the trailer yourself, but usually the trailer, that's their property. But what you're doing is now they're hiring you to haul. So you set the rates. Most people usually that haven't heard anything different than charging by mile, but it's agreed upon usually beforehand. It's usually a cash upfront agreement. There's usually contractual obligations, but the point is, you get to run your own business. You get to be your own boss, and you're still a union. That's the beauty of it when you have your own rig. So that's false bullshit. What this woman is saying right off the bat. I heard that. I'm like, okay, that's complete, total, and utter bullshit. This is just more proof that the Democrats do not want citizens; they want indentured servants.
And that's eventually going to turn into slaves.
Yes.
Well, yeah, if you don't own your own rig, and you don't really make a lot, you're making like, I think it's like 10 cents a mile. If you own your own rig, you're making somewhere around 30 to 40 cents a mile. You know, and people don't think, well, that's, you know, even a short haul truck driver drives a couple of 100 miles a day because they're doing, like, say, they're doing a route in town, you know?
Yeah.
So
some people don't realize how far they drive every day. Like, you know, it all adds up. You don't realize it. I tell people all the time, check your mileage before you leave the house when you're going to go to work and do your daily routine, and check it when you get home. And then you realize how much you've traveled just within the course of that one day. And that's just around town.
I caught a little bit of the rebuttal.
Yeah.
It was typical. My fees are hurt.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not a big fan of, hey, if you can't come at me with some actual reasons, I mean, you know, and people are like, but women's rights to abortion. I mean, we're talking about banning late term abortions, which, you know, if it's literally within a week of the child being born, fuck.
Or even after.
Yeah, I mean, no, I know. I'm very pro. I'm very pro retrograde abortions to fucking morons.
I'll tell you this much. After seeing that rebuttal, that little bit of it, I can tell you I know exactly why they picked her.
Because the Democrats love losers, or Democrats love women that lose campaigns.
She's probably the first normal, quote-unquote, normal Democrat I've seen in probably the past 3 years.
Not really. Not so much if you paid attention to her campaign. She's staunchly anti-gun, which she was running in Georgia on an anti-gun ticket being backed up by members of the Black Panther Party. Basically. Yeah. So, you know, that, and I think
Black Panthers are anti-gun now?
Oh, no, yeah, they're anti-white people having guns. You know, they want to enforce, they want to basically, Black Panther Party are like South African Zulu blacks. They want to enslave everybody and blame the white people for all their fucking problems. But let's just be blunt here. She lost, and my only other reason I could think the Democrats would pick her is they wanted to pick somebody who could drive an 18-wheeler between the gap in her front teeth.
Yeah, I noticed that too. She has that whole thing. Makes Michael Stratham looks like he has caps. Seriously though,
I could fly through that gap in her teeth without having to go inverted.
You know, but I'm saying, like, she's the first one that they've had up on the stage in a minute that's not like a frothing, like, eye-rolling lunatic.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Yeah, because she's accepted the fact she fucking lost and gotten over it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were toying with the idea.
I'm cooking myself something.
They're toying with the idea, but she's still ranting about voter suppression. Like, okay, like requiring an ID to vote is hard. I know lots of black people. Fuck, I work with black people. You know what? They all have IDs. You know what? They all have fucking passports. You know what? They have multiple forms of ID. So please tell me how it's fucking hard to get an ID. This is just a myth propagated by the Dems when they fucking go off the fucking deep end on their fucking views about anything. It's like we need more government. We need more government. We need more government. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're a pack they're a pack of idiots, like you were saying. My thing is, what I'm saying is, so like last year they rolled out Kennedy, like who was it, Joe Kennedy, and this year they rolled out this broad. What I'm saying is, you think about it. They got all those Democrats, and they literally got to go pick and choose who the fuck they're going to throw up to talk to the president. That sounds just normal enough. Like, they literally don't have anyone who isn't fucking balls crazy that they can put in front of a camera to respond to this man. They're literally scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's how crazy their party's got.
Yeah, well, you know, all the good Democrats died in Dallas in fucking in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the thing. The Democratic Party has become the party of identity politics. And the crazier the identity, the better the politics for them. They're the party of child molesters. They're the party of transgender nutcases. They're the party of you don't know what bathroom to go to. They're the party of chicks with dicks. I mean, come on. They're the party of fucking nutcases, pedophiles, and weirdos.
But they're also the party of wedge issues. If I got to hear about Paris Peace Accords or fucking climate change or Syria bombings one more fucking time from these goddamn people, that's all they come at me. Oh, well, you know, he bombed Syria twice. Yeah, okay. How did that go?
Obama bombed Syria 30 some odd times and killed lots of people with fucking drone strikes.
Yeah.
You know, Trump's just cleaning up Obama's mess. And Syria was Obama's mess because we never should have gone there. That's one of the ones where I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it blunt and people can go fuck me, whatever. But you know what? I've actually been to Syria, so that was Russia's deal to handle. You know, you don't like that, fuck it. You know what? We don't have to be the world police. You know? And you know what? Let's let Russia handle that one. Russia, you know what? But here's the thing. Obama created this event, this phenomenon of fucking religious violence in the Middle East called the Arab Spring. When he demanded all of these little dictatorships become democracies. The problem is when you have Islam and a democracy is you get a theocracy. Okay? You in Arab countries, you need a fucking controlled dictatorship. Because Islam is incompatible with any other form of religion.
Yeah. I've been saying this for a while now. You know, the Obama's approach, Hillary's approach, that's the reason that you have all this shit going on in Europe with all the fucking refugees. That's the reason you can't go to Paris now. That's the reason you can't go to London now. It's the reason you can't go to Sweden
now. Yeah. It's the reason why remember the old communist bloc of Europe? It's the only part of Europe that's Europe anymore.
Yeah.
And that and Italy. I mean, you know, Italy woke up and elected a populist fucking government. Italy was like, oh, wait, first thing we need to do is give citizens' guns rights back, which is very rare for any country. That's why I always say, you know, don't take a chance and keep the, make sure you hang on and always fight for your gun rights to the fucking tooth and nail and let no more fuss on it. Because in Italy, they just got the right back to own 6 guns or 5 guns, and they can actually own an AR-15. All right? That's what's wrong. I mean, my God, I own more guns than the entire privately owned sector of the city of Rome. That should tell you something.
Wow.
I hate to see the room that they're in.
Well, to be fair, you probably also own more MiGs than most cities.
You know, I was talking to Burnside about it.
And that's a long list of cities.
I was talking to him about it last year. I never would have thought 2018 was going to be the year of Polish tourism. You know, say what you were saying about like the former communist bloc, where it's the only place now that's still Europe. But Poland, you know, wow, they've become like a powerhouse lately. I'm amazed.
I wish Burnside were here.
I sent him the link. I know you did too. I figure if everyone sends him the link, it'll entice him to get off his ass and come in.
No, he's at work.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
At least he's on shift for another 2 minutes.
Got it down to the minute, do you?
Well, then he has a 2-hour drive home.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I couldn't deal with that.
No.
And then usually he doesn't get onto the computer until about 2 a.m.
Wow. How the hell does he stay that upbeat?
Well, it's only 1 a.m. there.
No, I mean just like the 2-hour commute in and of itself, that would like suck the soul out of me.
Well, where he's living, it's just...
Is he a redhead? Because that might explain
find
a
a
lot.
place closer to the new job, but
Yeah.
everything was more expensive and crappier.
He's
Yeah.
really he's got to leave the Midwest, and he's got to either move to the South or move to the East Coast.
Hey, Tara, is he a ginger?
Yes, my baby is a ginger.
That explains a lot, Scooby. He doesn't have a soul to be sucked out.
Nope, and I have his heart, and I have it in text.
Very cool, as long as you have his heart, but you still have to protect his bum from the seagull.
Now, that's mine, bitches.
I mean, and here's the problem: is if he did move to the fucking South or the East Coast, it would become Burnside, the crispy critter, because he'd be like perma sunburned.
He was in Florida for a little while working at Disney, and that's the thing. He said he'd move back down there if he could get his old job back. So there's your incentive, Tara. Get him his job back at Disney.
What the fuck do you think I'm working on? My
Well,
roommate has connections at Disney, and I've explained this to him.
I tell you what, if you can get Burnside down there, that might entice me even more to move to Florida. Seriously.
So I told him, I was like, you both hate each other, but you both love me. It's enough to, tolerate each other. You need to get the job at Disney. I hate Orlando, but I'll move the fuck down there for you. Just, come down here.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of trailers for rent in the Orlando area.
Yeah, when the first 2 years I went to go visit her, I stayed in a trailer.
A camper trailer. Shut the fuck up, you little shit.
What was
Well,
that
I
second word again?
Camper trailer. It's called an A-liner. You tow it
I
behind
was asking about the second word.
You tow it behind a truck when you go camping.
Well,
Is it one of them
technically, a mobile home you tow behind a truck when you move.
So let me ask you: was it one of them big ones that looks like a silver Twinkie? Like from
No,
the
it
50s?
does not.
All right.
No, those are worth
It's actually a pop-up camper, but it's called an A-liner because the top goes into a peak.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me put it this way: those silver Twinkie ones, actually, they have a market out there for fully restored, and modernized ones.
Yep, and I've seen those. They're pretty nice.
Yeah, if you want to spend $80,000 on a trailer.
Oh yeah, I mean they're nice, but my family's not going to spend $80,000 on a fucking trailer.
Is that the equivalent to a redneck mansion?
No, that's a triple wide double stack.
I took my wife just to fuck with her. Up in
Redneck
Amityville,
RV.
up over in Amityville by me, they got a trailer park. As far as I know, there's 2 trailer parks in New York. At least downstate New York. I don't know about upstate. There's at least 2 I know of. And so I took her to show her just to fuck with her. And I took her because the ones up over in Amityville, they're on Route 110. And they're right down the block from all the expressways and everything. So I told her, I said, yeah, We move out the state. I said, I'd rather rent the house out to the college kids, let them stay in the house. I don't feel like dealing with the neighbors. I said, and we'll just, I said, I'll buy this thing, and this is what we'll stay in when we come up to New York to visit everybody. I said, get the fuck out of here. I ain't staying in a trailer. I go, what? What's the matter?
You do know that the Amityville Horror House, I believe, is still on the market.
Bro, I've been in that fucking house. My sister wanted to buy it. It's no big deal.
I was thinking it was probably on the market because it's fucking overpriced as all fuck.
Not by our standards. You'd be surprised. You look it up and you scoff at the price. You got to look at the price of the houses next to it. That's the trick. The whole neighborhood is expensive as hell.
All right, this is an A-liner.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those things before. I used to buy knishes out of it. Guy would pull up, he'd set up, he'd have his propane tank.
This is how it's set up, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a camper. It's a pop-up camper.
Yeah. My brother's acting like it's something friggin' redneck. We only had a 3-bedroom house. One room is for my aunt's stamping because she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator. One room is my aunt's master bedroom, and one room was my room. And we had no other rooms, and this way he had his own place.
Hey, I ain't knocking it.
Oh, no, it was great.
AC, power, everything like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's
what
not.
I would love to get is one of these. One of the eggs.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't wake up with an alligator right next to me.
The eggs are kind of retro, and you don't need much of a vehicle to tow them. So
no, you don't. That's one of the reasons I like it, is because I don't need something really big to tow it.
You can tow it behind a Volkswagen Beetle.
Exactly.
See, I'm gonna show my, I guess where I'm from. It's if it's gonna be towed behind the house and it's something you stay on, it should have an outboard on it. That's all I'm saying. If you tow it up behind the car.
Used to have one like this from like the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
And it had the green stuff. And my aunt used her Kenmore sewing machine, just like the one I have, only mine's 10 years younger than hers, or older than hers. And she made a whole new setup for it because the originals were disintegrated.
Yeah, we never had a camper when I was a kid. We always had boats.
All right, so this is what some of the inside of an A-liner looks like. Mm-hmm. They don't have this. They actually took this out, and they right here is where they have like their electrical ports and charging stations. And then my uncle made like a bench that goes all the way across, and everything like that. And we put a pad on it. And that's where I sleep when we go camping.
Cool.
We rarely use the stove or the sink. This is the area where they sleep. My aunt took all of these curtains out and created new ones. The cushions, she didn't like them, so she made new ones.
When you, in the morning, we'll put the food in there with Cody. They're supposed to come spray tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, this is what most of them, or, they have different models.
No, they're nice looking. Like those ones there, yeah, you'll see them all the time on the back of the pickup trucks.
Mm-hmm.
The fishermen that go out by Democrat Point and the ones that go up over by the Sore Thumb. Those are two of the fishing spots over here. They live on those things.
Well, yeah, you see handmade. I know of a guy here in town that has one that's all handmade.
That's so cool.
All wood. But yeah, I actually used to stay in a camper kind of like this one when we had 5 acres of land. And I didn't have my own room. And I threw a fucking fit because I didn't have my own room. I was severely depressed. So they went out and bought me a camper.
That's really cool of them.
I like that one. Yeah, kind of like what mine look like. I don't know what it is with people and only taking pictures of the back sides. There we go. Mine look more like this, only the door was way back here. But back to the State of the Union, I honestly didn't know that was Pelosi behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the permo resting bitch face should like give it away.
Oh, I have permanent resting bitch face. Oh my God, Scooby, you got to see this camper.
What?
I'm about to do a screen share. No more.
Okay.
So, look at that beautiful thing.
That is beautiful. Wow.
That's retro. No, but when you're serious about camping, you got to do it like this. Because you will go fucking anywhere. And you can actually put dirt bikes or actually a four-wheeler on a raised lift on the back of that fucker. Because, you know.
Now, what I don't get is...
That's a zombie apocalypse camper.
Yeah.
People
that's a mobile command center is what that is.
Yeah, that's a mobile command center. Is these people that go out and they're like, I want to go camping. Let's take the kids camping. And they say camping, yet they buy this huge fucking RV that has satellite TV, video game systems, that. And, all you do is spend every waking moment inside of that fucking thing. When we go camping, we see at least 3 of those things.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
You know what it's called? It's called How Millionaires Go Camping. Me personally, I've spent enough of my time in tents and Quonset huts, and given the choice, if I'm going to go camping, I am taking a $500,000 fucking RV with fucking all of the fucking comforts of home.
I can't argue with that.
Once you slept in a shelter half, and then you know what? Then you go, oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's go camping. Let's go camping Air Force Plus style, because it sucks. Mosquitoes suck. Poison ivy sucks. But once you have the money for it, fuck it. Get a fucking camper.
Check out this.
I'm looking at the.
And this one's in Australia.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
And then there's this one. With it set up like that, it almost looked like it was a plane.
Yeah.
Hello?
We're all here.
Here's another one. I think Nana would like this one too.
That is cool looking. Hell yeah. I'm gonna show these to my wife tomorrow. I'm gonna tell her to blame you. When she's like, "Why are you looking at these crazy little campers?" Because I found if you type in tiny retro camper in the search, well, you get some wild looking shit that it brings up.
Oh yeah.
Like all the stuff I remember from when I was a kid. Some of this shit I haven't seen in like 30 years.
Here's a vintage one. It's from 1935.
Yeah, like shit like that. You used to see it a lot when I was younger. You'd actually see people take shit like that down to the beach. Not no more.
What the hell? It's hot down here.
There we go. It's these things that I see people driving.
Yeah, the girl down the block from me has one.
Well, see, at some of the camping places we go to, they actually have a size limit. Because that thing will be sticking out into the road. And they complain. They're like, well, why can't we bring in our camper? And they're like, because it's too big. Our spots are only so big.
So solution, make bigger spots and stop losing business.
No, they don't lose business at all.
Well, first of all, who the fuck would want to camp in goddamn Florida? That's my question. It's goddamn Mosquito Central.
Actually, I found the perfect mosquito repellent. It works great.
It's called not camping in Florida or Louisiana or Alaska or Minnesota.
No, this stuff is lemongrass and what's the name of that plant that koalas eat?
Eucalyptus.
Yes, eucalyptus. It works great. It keeps them off.
You know what? I found the perfect fucking mosquito repellent too. It's called Camp in Utah.
You know, it's funny actually. Where I live, we're known for our mosquitoes. The British regulars during the Revolutionary War described my home as hell on earth because you get all 4 seasons here, and you get them to such intensity that the British despise being here. They said it was horrible. You get frostbite on your feet in the winter, and once the spring comes, you're a feast for the mosquitoes. And they said they couldn't believe how many mosquitoes there were here.
Well, I've been all over the country, and I'm going to say this: the worst place for mosquitoes is not Florida, it's Minnesota. Honest to God, it's Minnesota. Fucking place. They have mosquito festivals, for crying out loud.
Oh my God, my baby brother. Kel, he came to Florida his first time, and we go to Bolin's Bluff to see wild horses, and of course they don't show up. But we're walking along, and it's one of the hot winters, so a mosquito lands on him, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a state bird," and then I smacked it and killed it.
That was not how I reacted.
Yes, it is.
They get big down there, don't they? Those mosquitoes. Yeah. I think the interesting thing was when I went outside, and I'm outside, because you can't smoke in the room, and I had one to burn. So I'm outside and I'm blowing it down, and as I'm standing there, this thing, and it's like eye level with me. It's a fucking palmetto bug, and it's just flying, buzzing back and forth. I'm like, oh wow, one of the flying roaches. These black girls were from Chicago, and holy shit, did they bug out? I mean, this one. Now you gotta remember, I'm 6'2". This black chick, and she was in like lifts. She had to be at least my height without these lifts. So these things, she was about like 6'8" with these things on, because they were like 6-inch lifts, and she ran full speed and Superman through the passenger window when she saw that thing. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. I said, it's just a flying cockroach, and I had a hat on. I took the hat off and hit the thing like a tennis racket. Those things are heavy.
Here's a vintage camper.
Let me see this. I was looking at the one you were showing me before with the roof, the staircase on the roof. See, that's cool. That's the type of thing I was looking for. Like the little campers like that, with the awnings on them.
Those didn't come standard. Those were actually extra.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, though, that's what I was looking for. I just that nice little sort of setup. Yeah, with the curtains. Nice paint job to it. Yes. Yeah, those are nice.
This is what your standard camper looked like.
Yeah, that's the type of camper I would actually like to have. Not one of those big fucking eyesore monstrosities. You want something about the size of a Honda Civic that you can, park up into the driveway.
Here's what you were talking about.
Yeah, I love those things. The Airstream, that's it.
They still make them.
Awesome.
Yes, in 2007 Airstream.
That's so cool. There's certain things you just can't screw with perfection. That's one of those things that just it looks perfect the way it's designed.
Yeah, they're retro as fuck, and they're like, they were designed.
My aunt and I love these little pink ones, or they're green, or they're just so cute.
Yeah, they were designed for what, Nano?
They were designed to be like pulled behind the cars of the day. The Airstreams. Oh, that goes in the fucking in the back of a truck. And so they were really designed, but that was back when every American car had a fucking V8 in it, so, or at least an option for a V8.
Well, in my house, we weren't actually allowed to buy anything but a V8. My father insisted. I remember when my brother came home with the, I forget what he bought. It was a V6, and my father hit the ceiling. I'll never forget. He dragged him outside, and he points up at the flagpole. He says, "What the hell is that on that flagpole?" He says, "Department of the Navy." He says, "Correct." He says, "Why is there an Army vehicle in front of this house? If it's a 6-cylinder, it belongs in a Willis. Get it the hell out of here." Like, he had a fit. He did not want anything but an 8-cylinder.
Well, I mean, the Army Jeep only had a 4-banger in it anyway. And if you were buying a Ford pickup in a F-100 and wanted to tow something, you better buy that fucking 300 straight 6, because all their other motors were garbage. Yes, I said that. Ford V8s are garbage.
Well, my father would not let. If that was another thing too. If you were looking at a pickup truck, no, nothing newer than 1985. He was not interested in any of that nonsense. That's how he was.
Scooby, here's a camper that can hold you and your whole clan.
Oh, very cool. Very green. Yeah,
well, I'm going to disagree with that, because honestly, the older trucks don't have the power.
No, he wasn't interested in the drivetrain per se. He liked the older trucks, and he was the type, you put the engine in and you work the engine.
Well, the 300 straight 6 has been around forever, and it's better than the 302 for pulling, and it's better than the 351 for pulling.
Yeah. Oh no, my brother didn't have. He didn't pull up in a truck. He had a 6-cylinder car, and my father freaked out. He had a thing against 6-cylinders. He was a weirdo like that. My father, you gotta remember, this is a man. He didn't like what was coming out of the radio, so he removed the radio out of his truck. And because, get this, he was one of the people that they asked when they first were putting seatbelts in back in the 50s. He was one of the people that was tapped, and gave his opinion. And they said seatbelts are useless. They don't save lives. They cause more injury than they help. Back then, because seatbelts weren't as advanced as they are now, he was right. So, because he was right in his mind, and he was, but because he was right and the state was wrong, he would remove the seatbelt out of his car. He would literally, he'd get pulled over, and the cop would say, I stopped you. He's like, no seatbelt. He said, yeah, you have to put on your seatbelt. He's like, I can't. It's not in the vehicle. And the cop wouldn't believe him. He'd get out and he'd show him. He literally took the seatbelt out of the car. He would remove them. You couldn't put it on. There was no way. He would remove the part that fastens, and he would remove the part that, sat on the side of the door frame that hooked controlled the belt. He removed the whole belt assembly. There was no seatbelt on the driver's side in any vehicle he drove. He didn't believe in him.
Yeah, he'd probably be throwing a fit with modern technology.
Oh, you have no idea. My brother told me when they first came out with spring brakes, he started throwing a fit because he said, now you're going to have the yuppies playing truck driver on the weekends because they don't have to chock the wheels. This is a guy, you got to remember, he was one of those people, I think I told you about him. He would have been like 85 if he was still with us. He didn't. 9mm was the ladies' caliber. 6-cylinder was for women's sedan. He didn't like the M16. He said the grease gun was fine.
The grease gun was a fucking steaming pile of garbage.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, this is a man who was saying. This man was saying this shit to me like 30-something years ago. This is also This is a guy whose default carry pistol was a 1917 double action 45 ACP loaded with fucking wad cutters. Guy was a war horse. He was.
Well, that's the problem with wad cutters. They feed like shit through a 1911 because it's an outdated design.
No, not a 1911, a 1917 double action. My father liked revolvers. He didn't like magazine-fed pistols because they jammed.
Yeah. The modern age would have fucking not suited him well.
No, they wouldn't have.
He'd freak out that I could take a truck, plug a laptop into it, and download up fucking 400 extra horsepower.
He would say to you that you're fucking your truck up by hooking it up to Israel's machine.
Yeah, and I would look at him and go, with all due respect, you're a fucking moron.
He was really old fashioned. I asked my father once, what's your political stance, and without even missing a beat. Oh, hell, I don't know in today's modern political climate. I always figured I was a liberal because I don't have any problem with when a woman wears pants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of touch with reality there because I mean you can take first of all, revolvers can jam. People don't want to admit that, but they can. Second of all, the idea that all these old cars are better. I mean, I like old cars, but you know,
Yeah.
when you can plug a computer into a modern diesel truck and effectively with a chip and a laptop without changing any other parts in the engine or affecting reliability, double its horsepower. And then when you can put a tuner in it, like a turbo tuner, that can effectively give you settings where you can go from suboptimal horsepower for driving around without pulling anything or doing anything to I want to blow the doors off a fucking muscle car in a quarter mile off the line because fuck you diesel and blow smoke all over the guy in the Prius by just spinning a dial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out these campers. Let me know when you've seen this first one.
I'm looking at it now. What is that? A 1932 Cord?
Milford or
the card.
I have. It looks like a Ford.
Yeah,
Cord
it looks
with
like,
a C, C-O-R-D, Cord.
Cord.
yeah, it looks like one.
Yeah.
You know, we need Clive Kessler here. He would be the definitive fucking authority on that shit.
Yeah. It's a beauty. It really is. What is that? That's a camper. It looks like that. Actually looks like an old horse carriage.
No, that's an actual camper made for these cars.
Huh. Looks classy as hell. It really does. That's actually, you can see by looking at the light and the horns on that red one that you were just showing. That's actually an old fire sedan.
Mm-hmm. I like this one.
Yeah. You know, that's actually why I like Batman the Animated Series when I was a teenager, because all of the old vehicles and the Art Deco artwork.
Yeah, that's an old. I want to say that's an old Mack truck.
Yeah, that's part of the reason, actually, I think my father was so old-fashioned. You see, one of the things that they kept my father on for, he was one of the only drivers that they had that could actually drive the pre-war. So there were times where they would have the truck he drove. Now, this is back in 2000. They had him on a 1935 Mack that had a satellite transmission. You ever see those things? They got 37 gears. It's a commercial version of the same sort of transmission that was in a Model T. Fucking crazy. It has all these, it's got the tree in the front of it. What it is, the tree is actually in front of the steering wheel, and the pedals are down, like there's all these foot pedals down by the base of the wheel. So you're shifting through the wheel because it's got a big gigantic wheel on this thing like a bus. So you're actually driving and shifting at the same time, like through the wheel. You have to reach through the steering wheel to shift. Crazy.
Then there's this little camper.
That is really nice.
And then there's this.
I'm trying to see what that is. What is it? Is that a Plymouth?
Yeah.
It is a Plymouth. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's a Plymouth.
Beautiful.
My uncle were to see these pictures, he'd know exactly what the hell everything is.
I want to say that looks like it's 1935, I want to say.
Look at this camper. Wow.
That is beautiful.
Ooh, I like that one. But of course, looking at all these where the campers have the driver's seat in them, it reminds me of that urban legend where, you know, the old man's looking at buying this RV and, you know, they're like, and it has cruise control. And he's like, well, what's that? And the salesman goes, it's kind of like autopilot. So the man buys it. You know, they're driving up a cliff. He's like, I'm going to go take a lie down. And they drive right off the fucking cliff.
Yeah, I'd heard that one before. But what I had heard, actually, it had happened over by me. It was some black guy, and he bought the thing, and he went in the back to take a nap, and the thing just flipped over. That's all. You know, he wound up.
You know, I think that's the whole urban legend at best.
Yeah.
Well, I had this big book of urban legends, and that was their urban legend of the thing with cruise control.
You know what I call that? The Darwin Award.
Oh, I read that when I laughed my ass off.
Oh, okay, they're in Australia. That explains that truck then. So I was trying to figure out what the hell type of truck that is. If they're in Australia, yeah. That might be British, that truck.
A lolly, yeah.
Yeah.
Lorry.
Oh, this one looks like a blimp.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, wow. That wooden one.
Look at this. Someone turned it into like a little play area.
If you go right
It's so
above where your arrow
trailers.
is.
Yeah, we've been sidetracked.
It happens.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, that is nice. To be fair, there's only so many things you can say about the Democrats being stupid before you beat it into the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, they were extra stupid tonight.
I
Why don't
like
you show me around a trailer park and tell me every model trailer they have there?
I really like that little trailer that she's standing next to that girl. Is that girl?
Yeah.
All right.
That's her actual height. That's how tall the camper is.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, mobile outhouse.
Seriously, all it needs is a bathroom, someplace to cook, and a place I could sleep, and a TV and a table, and you're good. I don't really need a lot of room.
Okay, you could probably put, a small flat screen in there and have, some small DVD player. Your table and everything, comes outside. Most of that stuff is in whatever you're towing it with. Or you can put it inside of it while you're towing it.
Well, I bet because, like, if somebody's towing a thing and I want to just chill out in there while they're towing it.
No, you don't want to chill out in it when it's getting towed. No. You will be thrown around like a fucking rag doll.
No, I know. I've been in them when they've been towed before. We used to have a hot dog truck. I used to love that shit. I was a bit of a disturbed kid. I used to sit in the back of the hot dog truck, and I'd sit on, like, one of those office chairs with the wheels, and I'd put on a football helmet. I'd just slide back and forth inside the thing while the old man was driving.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Camper.
It's Jerry Brown's official trailer. Fucking Governor Moonbeam.
All over Florida.
That's the one I wanted to see. That looks beautiful. Look at that. Nano, you seeing this thing?
Yeah. It's
not your style, huh?
It's wooden.
It looks like an old-fashioned caboose on a train. I like that. Yeah, it's kitschy. I like the fact that he's got American flags flanking both sides, too. That I really like.
But yeah, you can find these in trailer parks all over Florida where they have literally set up permanent residence.
Cool. Seriously, people just live in these little things all year round?
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. No wonder Florida's full of such crazy people. They're all living in matchboxes up in the fucking woods.
I love this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
This one is supposed to be for the entire family.
Cool.
I only know this shit because of my aunt and uncle.
I'm still kicking around the idea. I don't know if I want to go live in a trailer in Florida.
All right, so here's the outside of this camper. And this is what they did to the inside.
Looks pretty cool, actually. I don't know. These campers all look like basically they're like a mobile version of a dorm room. Like every one of them I've seen in the interior, I'm like, wow, that looks like my dorm room in college. Like it's like the studio from hell. There's not even a kitchenette. Just everything's in one area.
No, there's a kitchenette.
Well, I mean, if you want to get technical, but
Like
yeah, if you look at
here's the stove right here. There's the sink.
right, but there's no cubby for it. I'm saying it's just all in the same area.
It's underneath. And there's a metal tray you put over the stove to keep shit from going inside
Right.
of the stove.
What I'm saying is, that picture, the way it looks literally just like my dorm room in college.
All right, here's one that's similar to one I used to have. There's the stove, there's the oven. You know, you have everything in these things. Fridges, all that good shit.
Yeah, I like them. They're nice.
I think I watched them doing the leathers on these on a show. And my aunt has that fabric that they used for the curtains. My aunt and I looked at a lot of these different things while she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do for the camper that we have. And a lot of people went through, spent a lot of money to retro these things up. Yeah, see, they buy old campers and they make them look nice.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, I guess everybody's got to have a fucking hobby, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are. The problem is, a lot of the older ones have asbestos on the inside.
Yep.
So,
the show that I watched about them, they literally gut the inside and remove all of that shit. And they try and hold on to as much of the original paneling and stuff that's in there. But they clean off all of the asbestos as best as they can. They reseal that side so that what asbestos is in there can't get out. And then they try and put the original paneling back up if possible. You know, I was watching one of the shows where they were, redoing one of these. Oh, look, it's a Hobbit camper.
It's pretty cool looking, though.
Yeah. I like these with the little wings on the end.
the Expando egg. Ooh, we have CBS poll results for the State of the Union address just dropping in.
Okay.
CBS News, so we know it's not false news. Approval, 76%.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, Nano, here you go. Here's them redoing a camper.
Again, let me jump back over to that window. Yeah, I've seen the process, what they do, but yeah, there is just, oh yeah, and of course they add air conditioning because God, you do not want to be in one of those things without air conditioning.
No, you don't. No, because the entire outside is metal and all you're doing is baking in that fucking thing.
And you also have to, a lot of them, they have to modernize the electrical systems in them because a lot of them are not set up with modern 12-volt systems.
I think this one's nice. I like how we did the little kitchenette area.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. A lot of these are in such bad fucking shape that it doesn't take much to improve them. Because a lot of these, I mean, I see them, driving through the country out here, and you'll see them sitting in somebody's yard, and there'll be like mold growing on the roof and shit. And I'm like, I could, fix that up. And then I'm like, I don't have time. Yeah.
I like that stove.
Let me see. That is nice. Got me looking at campers. My wife's gonna kill you.
So what poll were you talking about?
Reminder: either one of you will have a lot of space to keep shit. On the teardrops, this is where their cooking area is at the back of the camper.
Oh my god, yes, I think the air conditioning's working now.
Do what?
I think the AC just kicked in. I'm burning up in here.
What are you in, the camper?
No, my apartment. My $300 rent apartment.
Are you sure the AC kicked in and not the heat?
Yeah, because I turned on the AC about an hour ago. But I just lowered the temperature from 70 to 65.
But Scooby, I've seen with these teardrop campers where people renovated it and made it fucking, oh my god. They like turned it to where, even Gordon Ramsay would be like, I'd use this to cook with.
Yeah, they're out of their mind. They want $50,000 for one of these Airstream Bambi campers.
Yep. You think that's ridiculous? Go look at the prices on a new Ranger bass boat.
Oh, I'm sure it's through the roof.
70.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Wow. I'm like, Jesus H. Christ, it's ridiculous. And these little rebuilds that they do, they are they charge through the roof on them too.
It's crazy. I mean, what the fuck? It's a piece of aluminum that's got wheels on the bottom of it.
It's because it's a fucking trend. I remember when you could buy an airboat for about $1,000, and basically what you were playing for was a crate motor because
here you go, Scoop.
It was just
cool.
It's just it's just well, let's see. It's just it's the popularity and airboats used to be cheap as fuck because you're basically just paying for the crate motor and the transmission, and you could get them relatively cheap. Then this little show called Duck Dynasty came on, and everybody wanted an airboat. Everybody wanted to go duck hunting. Used to be before that show launched, believe it or not, most of their duck calls were sold in Europe because hunting ducks was a European thing.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to the point of, oh, look, it's, it is what it is. And I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. I mean, I'm not going to, but when you take a boat that used to be, I don't know, at most, $8,000, and then all of a sudden you want to call it, oh, look, we're going to charge fucking, it's a 20-year-old boat, but we want $27,000 for it. I'm sorry. I own boats. And you know what? If there are holes in the water you throw money into. And I'll be damned if I'm going to pay that much for a freaking used boat, ever. But yeah, people in this country people in general think their used shit is worth more than it is. And if it becomes a trend, then it's going to suddenly become even more.
Yeah. Just have to hope then that there's a glut on the market and people are trying their desperatest to get rid of this shit, you know? That's the only thing I can think of.
No, what it is they've had it, and usually they start to fix them up.
Yeah.
And
They run out of money.
they run out of money, so they turn around and they sell it because they realize that they don't realize what they're getting into. You know?
Yeah, usually either the wife or the husband's like, oh my God, it'll be so much fun to renovate it. You know, we can do it within this specific budget. And they set the budget, and then turns out everything that they're fucking wanting or we're thinking of doing is really expensive.
Yeah, like they have to redo the entire plumbing inside it. They have to redo the entire all the electronics inside it to bring it up to like so it can get inspected, you know? And then they got to redo the insulation because, oh my God, you don't want to be fucking in a camper full of fibers and asbestos. And oh shit, we got to add an air conditioner. Well, the air conditioner needs to have ozone compliant coolant in it. You can't use just an old window unit because they won't pass the thing anymore. You know, so it ends up becoming a money pit. I mean, we all remember that 1980s movie.
Yep, I love that movie.
Oh yeah, The Money Pit.
The Money
It's
Pit.
about people. Yeah, they were fixing up an old house, and it was just throwing more and more money into it. Yeah. So, you know.
Doesn't Tom Hanks try and burn down the house?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not even for the insurance policy. It's the fact that he's done with the fucking place.
Oh, here you go. 1959 Shasta Air Flight 15-foot vintage canned ham Bambi Airstream. 1957, 1958. 14,500.
Yeah, that's probably because is it fully restored?
Yep.
Yeah, I guarantee you they got 10 grand in that fucking camper.
Yeah.
Not including the purchase price.
Yeah, well, it's on eBay too, so God knows how many people bidding on the thing too. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I've sold a vehicle on eBay before. You can start out well below your reserve, and if you ain't getting your reserve, you ain't getting rid of it.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, you can bid $1 on something all day, but as somebody that shops eBay for my little home fucking decor thing that I like, vintage beer signs for my home bar.
Really?
Yeah,
I got a stack of vintage signs from my fraternity. You can have them.
I'm more like a vintage. To be correct, it's vintage neon signs.
Gotcha. The ones I have are the tin signs that used to go up. And I had a beautiful neon Corona sign, and my nephew destroyed it.
Yeah, I just purchased the Corona Extra one with the parrot on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got an old 1968 Slits sign, the Slits beer.
The Corona Extra one with the parrot, is that the one with the parrot and the beer bottle? And
no, it's got the parrot, it's got the palm tree, it's got the sunset.
Yep, that's it. That's the one the little motherfucker broke.
Yeah, and those are. I've got a Meisterbrow clock. I've got an old Slits beer lighted sign. I've got a few other signs out there. I've got pretty much all the signs I need at this point, because I'm trying to stick to imported beers and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like a Genesee beer and some other shit. I mean, old shit. Because it's just like, well, you know what? Let's do old shit.
I've actually been to that brewery, the Genesee Brewery.
Yeah, it's up in New York, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up in Utica. And holy shit! Like when my neighborhood, Lindenhurst, was when I was a kid. We were notorious for being in the Guinness Book of World Records for most bars and most bars per capita than any other place on the planet. We were known for that. We lost out to Utica, New York, because you go up to the Genesee Brewery, and I was like, holy shit, the brewery's in the middle of the street, and it's a cul-de-sac, and it goes like this: bar, Chinese restaurant, bar, laundromat, bar, pizzeria, bar, luncheonette. I'm not even joking. Like, the whole cul-de-sac, there's like every second store is a different bar. It was crazy. And they got that Jenny cream ale that they have up there. We had two official beers of my fraternity: Genesee cream ale, and they had the honey brown lager. Those were oh god, I hate that fucking honey brown. If I never taste that nasty shit beer again, it tastes like cough drops.
Yeah.
Like the Luden's honey cough drops, that's what that beer tasted like.
Don't worry. My Coke machine is filled with nothing but I've got Corona, Dos Equis, Singha, which is a Thai beer, and then the rest is No Label, which is a brewery out of Houston.
If I could give a free recommendation, if you ever get the chance, Red Stripe.
I hate Red Stripe. It gives me a fucking headache because they use formaldehyde in it. Or
I didn't.
They least that's the ring, and it just has a funky. To me, it's like Heineken. It tastes great until you finish drinking it.
It took me a better part of at least 20 years to warm up to Heineken.
Yeah, because it has a skunky aftertaste.
Yeah, it does. What got me where I could actually tolerate Heineken was Sam Adams. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big Sam Adams guy. If I do actually drink, because I'm not a drinker. But I was gonna mention to you, if you get the chance, you want to definitely try it. It's in the can. They got the Spirit of 76.
Oh yeah, I've drank that before.
Have you tried? I was gonna say, have you tried it with your chicken?
Yeah. I usually use Boddington's with my chicken because it has a honey flavor to it.
Okay.
And it's really a creamy beer, so it's a nitrogen beer, so it really blows up through the chicken when it boils or when it smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're doing anything that's based on, what do you call it? Any honey-based barbecue sauce on the chicken. But let's see, what are... Oh, and another thing I love to deal with on liberals in general or on Twitter right now. They're like, "You're stupid because you support the president. You're a Nazi." I'm like, wow, you're Trump there's no such thing as Trump derangement syndrome. Hating someone because your candidate lost 2 years ago and you don't have any rational reason, yes, that's such thing as Trump derangement syndrome. Are you mad that the country's doing better? Are you mad that you're paying less taxes? Are you mad that the economy's improving? Are you mad that you didn't get fucking furloughed from your job? I mean, what the bloody hell horse fuck is wrong with you people?
Oh, man.
I mean, it's really come down to orange man bad, my fifis are hurt. Wah, wah, wah. Swear to God.
And the sad thing is that's all that it is. Nothing else to it.
I mean, at least Alicia Cortez is good for something. She's single-handedly putting the end to dumb blonde jokes. I mean, what is she, Puerto Rican? I mean, I know she's not Mexican because they're not that dumb.
I think she's El Salvadorian, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, why am I not surprised? No wonder she loves MS-13. I thought she was part Puerto Rican. And if she isn't, I apologize to the nation of Puerto Rico, or the territory of Puerto Rico, for assuming that something that dumb came from your country or your territory. You'd like to be a country, but you'd also like to be a state. You can't make up your mind. You go Puerto Rico.
We need 51 states.
Yeah, only because that would give them 2 more Democratic senators. That's the only reason they want it. And by the way, Puerto Rico has 0 chance of becoming a state because one of the requirements to becoming a state is economic stability. And well, to put it bluntly, that's never going to happen in Puerto Rico under its current fucking under its current government, elected government.
Well, I was always saying if we're gonna give Puerto Rico statehood, I like my flags with their 50 stars. So if we make them a state, let's just take the statehood away from Hawaii.
Oh no, I was gonna say California because it's crazier. And
True.
And you know what? I'm also all for making Guam a state. If we make Puerto Rico a state, and we can kick New York out, make it a. Please learn the Constitution, and then maybe we can come back.
I tell you what, I'm all for them kicking New York out of the country as long as they make it an autonomous zone and they name me governor. I'm cool with that.
I honestly think they should break. If they're going to do that, what they should do is they should do like they want to do with California, or what some people want to do in California, which is Orticio Cortez says the dumbest things. She's on MSNBC Live. Orticio Cortez on Trump's speech. I think that the president was unprepared. I don't think that he did his homework, and it's really that bad. 76% of Americans approve of Trump's speech. Yeah.
Wow. Fucking Dems.
It's like no. When you single-handedly have made the Bronx okay, Cardi B is also to fucking blame for that one. But when those two, Cardi B and ACO, have single-handedly made the Bronx the brunt of jokes in America, and that's all you've accomplished. That's sad.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I almost want to go send her a bouquet of MAGA hats.
Do it.
Send her a bag of dicks while you're at it too.
No, she's probably got a giant fucking 14-inch long black dildo, so that takes those deep cell fucking batteries.
I bet she calls it the Obama.
Are you kidding me? More likely with her. With her, no, you can tell if she's got a sex toy, it's definitely named Lenin. No, I take it back, Trotsky.
Yeah, or fucking or it's named Karl.
Yeah.
Marx.
Karl with a K.
Yeah, as I explained before, Karl Marx was a mooch of a mooch, and that's absolutely funny. That's like, okay, let's say that you're living in your parents' basement. Karl Marx would be the friend that's living on your couch in your parents' basement, eating your parents' food, and not paying rent. That's Karl Marx. Yeah,
and from what I understand, he was a real ungrateful son of a bitch too.
Yeah. He was absolutely a really, and he was like everybody. He talked about workers' rights and never once visited a fucking factory in his life.
And everyone owed him something. That's basically what his philosophy was. The world owes you.
No, you know what the world owes you? Nothing but death. Yeah. The only certainty in life, you will die. Not even taxes are a certainty, because you might die before you have a chance to pay taxes.
Have you ever seen
the movie? Before you're born, and the Democrats get their way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you might die minutes after conception if it's up to the Democrats, but you know,
or even after birth.
yeah. But I'm just saying that, you know, here's the thing: the only certainty in life is death, and nobody owes you shit.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And you know, and I really get tired of listening to people go, oh, but the government owes me. Government doesn't owe you shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? And I'm a fucking vet, and you know what? I hate dealing with the VA, and I'm going to tell you, it's the biggest pain in the ass. And I don't own, but I mean, I have enough money to not have to deal with the VA all the time. And the thing is, what the government owes you these benefits, and I'm like, not really. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have them, but you know, I'm not going to sit around and go, oh, let me get my 100% disability so I don't have to work ever and live on fucking $1,700 a month, because that's what 100% disability vets get paid if they're single. It's fucking it's ridiculous. And there are people, well, that's good money. I'm like, no, it's not. I could not live my lifestyle off of $1,700 a month. That won't even cover my fucking house payment. Okay, it'll cover my house payment, barely.
You know, I'd like to know where the left got this new thing, though, where they're screaming and yelling about veterans' privileges and all this shit. Like, did you see the one with the spoiled little bitch, and she was saying shit to the veteran in McDonald's because he was asking about the serviceman's discount?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. And, you know, this is the thing that always bothered me. Like, I was always all for the serviceman's discount, and this is the thing. Like, I'd hear people talk about privilege. You know, when I was a kid, even if there wasn't, like, a discount in effect, I don't remember if there always was one. As far as I can remember, there always had been one, as far back as I can remember. But irregardless, when a vet would come in, it was basically, you know, his cup of coffee was on the house. You didn't try to cover his check because it would have been like disrespectful. You know, the man wants to pay his own way. That's basically how it was when I was younger. And it's, you know, I've never once seen a veteran or an active serviceman, for that matter, sitting there demanding, saying I'm owed something. So that to me is a lot of left projection. You know, because
you ask about it sometimes. I've been asking you, are you a veteran? Yes. Okay, well, here's the fucking service discount. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't actively go seek it out. You know.
Yeah. But even then, like, I wouldn't chide anybody for, like, you know, oh, well, look at him asking for the discount. Yeah, he's saving money, so fucking what? Big deal.
You know, the guy only had like $4 in his wallet.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if he had 400. My thing is, if they're going to offer a discount and he's going to take it, who the fuck are these people? Oh, well, how dare you take that discount? Go scratch your ass with both hands. The man earned it. Or the woman earned it at this point. The person earned it. You know, really, who the fuck are you to opine? Did you serve this country? Like, I tell people all the time when they say to me, did you serve this country? I go, yes. I said, I was a civil servant for years. I said, I did a lot of shit and I got injured on a job doing that civil service. I served the country. I didn't defend it, but I served it in my way. You know, I tell people all the time, you should show a little bit of appreciation to the folks who were out there paving your roads, who were digging the ditches to put in your sewer pipes, who were up there working the lines. You know, show a little bit of appreciation to the people like they did in Fight Club, the people who fucking protect you while you sleep and cook your meals and shit, like the guy said. And that's one of the reasons I always sit there and I always will, you know, say, you know, don't fucking disrespect the veterans, because my thing is this. I'm home. I'm here as a civil servant. I'm busting my ass keeping the country running. These guys are overseas protecting the country. It's two sides to, you know, to what's keeping the country moving. Is you got people here, like you got your mailmen or mail carriers. You got your mail carriers. You got your people working the highways. You got your people working in, you know, like down in the sewers. You got people working in the, you know, running the pipes and running the wires and everything. You know, that's one side of it. We keep this country running. And people like Nano, they keep this country safe. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, you bet your ass I'm going to fight for the veterans to have their rights, because I look at it this way. The veterans having their rights and protecting the country, is so people like me, the civil servants, don't get fucked when we go out there. You know, it's a two-way street. Is the way I look at it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of people don't. I look at it like with, you know, if you're a serviceman, to me, I tell people all the time, that's the civil service on steroids. You are providing a service for your country outside of your country. You are now out there representing your country and representing its interests. And people don't look at it that way. Oh, he's a baby killer. Asshole, have you even ever seen a fucking woman in her underwear? Seriously.
No, most of them haven't.
Yeah.
You know, most of them haven't. Most of them are just fucking, you know.
Candy ass pansies. Bunch of fucking Mary Sues, every one of them.
They're like, oh look, yay, let's do what we got. We want, or you know, and it's coming down. And I don't want to harp on this at this point, but you know, the Democrats are looking really dumb. And when you have one of them try to start a little Twitter fight with you, you just laugh at them because they're not even worth getting angry at. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you know, there's an old Irish saying my grandfather used to say all the time. They're not worth the steam off my shit.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's a pretty good adage at this point.
You like that? Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is I feel sorry for moderate Democrats or fucking you know, sane Democrats.
The Blue Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got a lot of friends who are Blue Dogs.
I mean, the Democratic Party has gone so Hollywood haywire that it's going to self-destruct. Because, you know, they're like, oh, no, we need to redo the way we elect the Senate. I'm like, no, we don't. Because you know what? People that live in flyover states are important. In all honesty, I'm going to be very blunt here. Because they produce shit.
Yeah.
New York and LA consume shit. So, and LA's port numbers are only, and New York's port numbers are only impressive to people in New York and LA. Because
yeah.
Guess what? Fucking Savannah does more fucking New Orleans, Houston, all these southern ports now are doing more business than New York, and they're doing more business than the fucking Port Authority of fucking LA. Why? Because it's cheaper to dock a motherfucking ship there because of fees.
Yeah. Well, that and also the Chinese are shipping so much shit now out of Africa. It's just the closer ports are in the Gulf if you're coming from Africa. Why are you going to go up half the continent if you think about it?
Well, it also has to do with the fact that those ports have spent a lot of money to modernize for super tankers and mega container ships.
Yeah.
And New York ports, LA is like, oh no, your ship's too big and it produces too much fucking carbon footprint to come into our little fucking city port. Also, Houston, or in particular, is the launching point for a lot of fucking cruise ships.
Yeah.
So, I mean, or Galveston, if you really want to be blunt. But, I mean, this is the point. If you're not producing shit, why am I going to have to sit here and go, why do you think you're more, if all you're doing is consuming, and a lot of New York industry is dead. I mean, the factories are being turned into upscale apartments. I mean, they're not building new factories in New York. It's just too goddamn expensive and too many regulations in it. LA, they're not building factories. Oh, but we make movies. You make movies and porn. Big fucking deal.
A lot of what the industries are that do good over here, a lot of people don't realize. Everyone I know who's successful, they're all mom and pop. Auto body, guys who were doing transmissions, guys who they got a tree cutting crew, guys got a landscaping crew.
Yeah, but that's all. Service oriented. That's not production.
Well, that's my whole point. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying everyone who's successful around here, that's how they're successful. You're not going to work in a cubicle and be successful here. There's no money left. You're living like at the national low. If you're working in like a cubicle here, forget about it. Good luck. You got to work for the next 10 years just to get your nose above the water.
And I mean, yeah, you got the stock exchange. That's great, but that's not production. Yeah. Production is like those steel mills in Pittsburgh and in Ohio that were out of business because of Obama that are now pumping out fucking steel. You know?
We've always been a dairy state. That's our thing.
Yeah.
Our dairies and our orchards. We've always been agriculture. A lot of people, when I tell people New York's an agricultural state, they look at me like, New York, really? Agriculture? Because a lot of it is.
Yeah, you've got fucking shit tons of apples. You've got fucking shit tons of dairy farms. I mean, believe it or not, fucking Jersey has a fucking shit ton of cows in it.
Yeah.
Almost as many. It has more cows than it has landfills, if you can believe that. But I mean, the point of the matter is, it's like people are like, well, New York's important. It houses a lot of people, but what do these people do? I mean, most of your business in New York and LA is retail, whether it be a mom and pop or a service business. I mean, and the same thing goes with LA. I mean, it's not heavy industry. We're not building heavy industry anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize, where 80% of the companies in this country are located, like their main offices. A lot of people don't realize this. Not New York and not California. Delaware.
Well, that's actually starting to change because Delaware still has ridiculous corporate taxes, and states like Texas have started pulling them all in because we've given huge tax breaks.
I had seen that.
To relocate your company here because we're not going to charge you as much corporate taxes.
I'm all for that too.
And you know what? That's the free fucking market right there.
Like, I keep trying to talk to my wife. Like, that's the thing. I really got to get her down there to take a look because, we've been to Florida, but this is the thing. She goes, like, with the snowbird mentality. She just wants to go lay on the beach like a fucking walrus for 2 weeks. I'm not interested in that. If I'm going to move somewhere, I don't give a flying fuck about you laying on the sand. Seriously. So we're going to probably I want to go look around down in Texas and get a feel for it because I told her, I said, I'm not going to stay up here because the first one of these fucking communists that sits there and like tries to put hands on me because I'm wearing a MAGA hat, I said, I'm going to find him going to jail for pulling his teeth out with pliers. I said, so I want to get I want to get the fuck up out this state at this point. I mean, I ain't even going to front. If I could get like a small trailer up over in Amityville or some shit, I mean, I'll come back up here like once a month to raise hell, like go up into Manhattan and fuck with the people at the rallies and shit. But nah, I don't want to sit here with fucking junkies, people shooting at each other and shit. If I'm going to do that, if I'm going to deal with junkies and people shooting at each other, I'll go to Florida where at least there's warmth,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It is. Like, my whole thing is I didn't want to leave, and I'm still, it's the cost of living is the thing that I'm worried about, and there's a lot of things, but at the same time, I don't want to leave because my father built so many of those buildings in that city, and this has been my home my entire life, and I don't want to leave New York because that fucking mafioso up in Albany. I'd rather stand here and fight. Like, I'm the type, I got no problem walking down the street with like an army of people behind me with a megaphone, screaming at other people. Like, really, if we're gonna, like, I'll take it on some Sharpton level shit. I remember when that fat fuck with his fucking tracksuit looking like a circus tent walking down the street, leading marches, and the shit would turn into a brawl. These leftists think that they're going to take over my home state. I don't fucking think so. I'm ready to lose teeth over this shit.
Yeah, the problem is, though, for a big chunk of it is, man, it might already just be lost. I mean,
I don't know, because Terror read the thing the other day with ICE. They fucking are deporting these bastards out of here left and right. I mean, Bro, you go up to the Department of Social Services now, you're in and out in fucking 15 minutes because there's no more, Espanolis all over the place lying around on the ground fucking smelling up the joint. They're back over the border.
Yeah, but I mean, how much longer are we gonna, sit here? I mean, it's
what, and keep pitching them out?
Well, the problem is we're gonna keep, it's gonna keep going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah, I agree. If like the really bad ones, when we find them guilty, instead of just deporting them, what we should do is we should walk them to the border, shoot them in the fucking head, and pitch them over the side. Now it's on their side of the wall. They can go fucking bury him. Yeah, he ain't coming back.
I mean, I'm just saying that the whole thing is we're forcing. We've got a lot of people going, oh well, we can't deport them all. We can. I mean, deporting 11 million people, it'll take some time, but we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ever tell somebody you can't do something and not expect them to try.
Yeah. Especially in American, we're known for being stubborn assholes. It's part of our creed.
But I mean, lots of the things that I'm seeing is like, it's the thing that scares me about it in New York is they elected,
Well, it's how they did it. I don't want you to think that the populace is that fucking stupid. What they did was they put out flyers only in Spanish, and they went to the Catholic churches. That's how they got her elected.
And I mean, she only beat her Republican challenger by 15,000 votes, and in a district with 750,000 registered voters. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's corrupt as fuck. I mean, look, they're gonna have to excommunicate Cuomo. Like, I have no problem saying if the Civil War does start and it starts here in New York and this is where it's contained, fuck it, let them kill each other. I'll sit on top of a water tower like fucking Emperor Nero and sit there with my guitar and watch these people slaughter each other down on the street. I don't give a fuck. As long as me and mine are safe, every other person in this fucking state can rip each other to shreds. As long as the left are the ones that are left on the fucking floor when it's over. That's all I'm worried about.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I think that it's going to be over pretty quickly at the end of it.
I just hope that New York resists. That way they have no choice but to use carpet bombing. You got no idea how much I hate my neighbors.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I'm just saying that I honestly believe that Atisio Cortez will probably be a one-term candidate.
Oh yeah, did you see they're actually trying to get rid of her already?
Well, I'm just saying that I think what's going to happen is they may not be able to get rid of her, but she's such a fucking joke that that district might flip red. Because this is the thing is she was too far. You never go full retard, and that district went full nut house.
Yeah. Well, she has two districts. What it is, she's got the Queensbridge district, so she has where the bridge is in Queens, and then where it crosses up over into the Bronx. That's actually, it's funny. That's the bridge. That's a lot of people who are local, and who are around my age and who are in the know, they'll tell you that's the bridge. That's the foundation of hip hop. If you ever heard the song by, if you ever heard Queensbridge. That was the name of the song back in the day by MC Shan. That's MC Light's older brother. And then, let me see. I think it was The Bridge was the one by Boogie Down Productions. So I'm just really quick. This is just some flavor background. It's not anything too important, but just to clarify to everybody, the area where Ocasio-Cortez got elected, that's basically where hip hop was born. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize. I mentioned it the other night when we had Pat on. The black community, specifically in Brooklyn, has almost entirely embraced communism. That's something that has to be realized, is because the neighboring district, like the neighboring borough to her district, is literally openly communist. If you want to see what I'm talking about, type in Republic of Brooklyn in Google or Bing. That's the name of like their club, and it's a commie club. It's Antifa. It's by any means necessary. It's the communist chapter of New York. They basically, it's where Lena Dunham and all them live. These people basically turned it into like their own commie enclave. They're LARPing as communists in the richest city in the world, which is kind of bizarre.
Well, on that note, I'm calling it a night because I'm having a hard time staying awake.
I know, I can bore the shit out of anybody.
No, it's not that. I've just had a long and painful day. Baby brother, anything to show?
No, but before you end this, found something you might like to hear.
What?
Let me find it. Here it is. So we played D&D with my 11-year-old cousin yesterday, and it was his first proper session. He had real bad luck with his dice roll, and his elf just died. After a solemn pause looking over his character sheet, he writes Junior next to his name, and it proclaims, "I am here to avenge my father."
Wow.
Smart kid.
Makes perfect sense. I mean...
That's a smart kid. I'll give him that. He didn't have to do anything else.
No.
Then if it dies again, you just write down a 3.
No, anything to show?
No, not really. Same old shit, different day.
Scooby?
You guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You can follow me here on YouTube. I am on minds.com, GabAI, Patreon, and PayPal. If any of you guys are interested in hitting up the PayPal, it would be nice with the crowdfunding. Excuse me. Part of the thing that actually kept me from going in and covering Chinese New Year in Flushing today was the State of the Union was the same day, and also finances. I am currently strapped and tapped, so anyone who's feeling the generosity jingle in their pocket, please let me hear some of that sweet music. So yeah, definitely hit me up. I have a few videos I gotta put up that I got sitting around. They've been sitting on the camera for a minute, so they'll probably be up this weekend. As for new, bless you. As for new stuff, it'll come as it comes.
All right, and I'm Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch. You can find me on pretty much any social media except for Facebook. It's Ambrosia Locke with an E. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night, all.